Hello, I'm Mark Rohrer. I'm the president and CEO of Rohrer Aesthetics. Rohrer Aesthetics is based in Birmingham, Alabama, and we manufacture lasers and other energy-based devices that are used for cosmetic procedures. Dear Doctor is a video series that features the Rohrer products. Today, we'll be discussing the Bodysculp and BodyTone with Dr. Daniel Campos. Dr. Campos is the owner and medical director of Ageless Forever Institute in Coral Gables, Florida. Here, he specializes in non-invasive and cosmetic procedures. Dr. Campos is board certified and he has been published and interviewed multiple times on several different radio and television programs. In addition, he's a professor at various universities in South Florida, and he's a member of the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine. Dr. Campos, welcome to Dear Doctor.
Thank you, Mark. It's a pleasure to be here with you, sharing my story on your excellent equipments.
Okay. Well, and Dr. Campos, before we get started, I just want to thank you for doing the interview with us, and just want to find out how things going. How was 2020 for you, and did COVID affect your business, and have you recovered for 2021?
Well, actually, 2020 was surprisingly busy for us down here in South Florida. I'm sure my colleagues around the country are probably saying, yeah, for us too. For some reason, this that we're doing now, this video chats, video conversations with patients, patients with at work, etc., came to bring attention to small details that sometimes patients didn't stop to think about it because they were not looking at themselves on video that often. So 2020 was excellent, and I think that what made for me also the ability to make the best out of a year that was horrible for many people and continue to be, is that I had the tools to offer patients a variety of treatments, non-invasive treatments, and affordable too. So I think that was key, and that's exactly what I'm doing now on 2021.
Awesome. Sounds like things are going well for you. I'm glad to hear that, because you deserve it.
Thank you.
All right. So when you were looking for a fat melting system and a muscle toning system, what led you to Rohrer? Why did you decide to buy the Rohrer product?
Well, to tell you that I have many of your machines, and I'm a fan. That's number one. And number two is that pricing. Really, in an economy that we didn't know, it was a whole year that we didn't know what was going to happen. We were actually closed for 2 months, early 2020. I didn't want to buy something on the six figures, like even more. So pricing was a big component, but also the reliability of these two machines, the Bodysculp and the BodyTone. I think that when you combine reliability with affordability, it's a win-win, especially for this specialty that things evolve and change so often. So mainly was the pricing and the reliability of the equipment.
Okay, and I'm glad you mentioned the pricing, because a lot of times I get asked, and the question I get asked is, Mark, why are your units so cheap? Well, I want to ask you, Dr. Campos, is $60,000 cheap, or is it affordable?
Well, I would say affordable. At $60,000, I don't know a lot of people that can throw away $60,000. So it's affordable, especially when we compare with other brands that, and when you compare results, when you compare technology, it's pretty much the same. That's realize that I won't say that Rohrer is cheap, but I will say that other companies sometimes overcharge, and that is the truth.
Okay, so have the systems met your expectations?
Oh, absolutely. I really, I'm a face and neck type of guy. I really didn't have anything for body, but a lot of patients will come and ask, do you have anything for body contouring, non-invasive? I will say, no, I don't. And then when obviously in 2020, I said, well, I need to have a variety of procedures that include body contouring, because patients were asking for it. A lot of us gained a little bit of weight during the lockdown. So people were asking a lot. So I started looking, and when I saw the prices, I said, obviously I know Rohrer, I know the reliability of the machine. Let me go and console. And that's when we started talking about these two machines. But I really found that people look for this procedure a lot. People are realizing every day that having a liposuction is not as simple as a lot of people thought it was. And having this option, I think it makes a difference for a lot of patients. And when I start offering, patients, they really were drawn by the idea that, well, if he does my face in a way that it's not invasive or minimally invasive, well, I definitely want to have my body done with him if possible.
So how often do the BodyTone and BodySculp get used?
Oh, every day, honestly, every day. And what I love? I love the combination. And I tell you why, when I started using the combination, really that service in our office really exploded, because the body sculpture, this body sculpt, I'm sorry, is a system that really is very potent. It really works, but some people find it a little uncomfortable, and then you get in very few cases a patient that will have a little discomfort for a few days. When we added the body tone, all went away, and what we used to do was a massage after the body sculpt. We don't do that anymore because the body tone does that for us, and the results are really astonishing. I mean, when I started seeing that combination, I said, this is the win-win combination. And we use it almost every day. The staff, they use it. Sometimes they're like, girls, you need to wait until we stop seeing patients. You cannot get hooked to the machine yet. So I use them on myself, on my family. Even my business partner, Dr. Martin, have used it. So it's a piece of equipment that delivered what it promised, and that's why it's so popular.
Okay, and Dr. Campos, I know that you've looked at our equipment, you look at other companies' equipment, and usually I'll hear our competition say, because we are more affordably priced, well, the Rohrer products can't be powerful enough if they're selling them at that price point. How do you feel the output of the Rohrer power of the Rohrer equipment has been? Is it underpowered just enough, or more than you'll ever need?
Well, I think you have power for all type of patients. The good thing is that it works when it's the power. You have a patient that has a low tolerance to sometimes the heat that the system generates, and you have the patients that really they can take it, and they take the very high power. That 1.7 is something intense. I don't have many patients that can take 1.7. But I tell you this, we have in the office at the morning have the sculpture, and the sculpture doesn't, in my opinion, compare to the combination of these two machines. As a matter of fact, when Dr. Martin does that machine, sometimes depending on the patient, he asks me, I'm going to use the body tone, because he knows that it works better. And to me, it's important. And I think I told you this, Mark, before, when I buy a piece of equipment, I cannot entertain the idea of buying an equipment that I have to put in a key to make it work. Because then maybe it's my mentality, but I feel that equipment is never mine, because the day that I don't have that key, that I don't purchase those pulses, I don't have an equipment. So that is something that your equipment have, that to me, I appreciate, because I know I can use it anytime, all the time, and I know there's not going to be extra cost associated to it. And to me, that's very important.
Yeah, and that's what something that drives me crazy, are the cost of buying a key card to turn the system on. I feel you pay enough for the device. Why should you have to pay for the device and then pay the company a fee just to turn on the device that you paid six figures for? That's not what Rohrer Aesthetics is about, and I agree with you 100%. I don't like that model at all.
And you know what, that, and I'm sorry, because I think this is important that whoever is going to see this video understand that these are treatments that are pretty much, you connect the patient, you monitor the patient, but the equipment does everything. So that is the perfect piece of equipment to make a little package for your patient. So let's say your patient come for a facial, for a hydrofacial, you name it, any treatment. and you can make a package. Look, we can give you the body sculpt in this package, and you can only do that because you don't need a key to make the machine work. And I use it like that all the time too.
Right. Well, let me ask you, you're talking about your patients. How's the efficacy been for the BodyTone and Bodysculp? How have the results been?
Well, like I said, I mean, the results and you know, when I first bought the Bodysculp, you came down here and I did it on one of my assistants, and that picture, I think it's on your website.
Right.
And that was without the BodyTone. After that, when we incorporated the BodyTone, things got so much better that really every time I show the patients actual before and afters, they don't believe it. My trainer, I have a personal trainer, and I did it on him because he said, well, it's really hard for me to have to maintain my abs. And I said, come to my office and let's do this. And the guy couldn't believe it. And I said, you're gonna get me out of business. And I said, you know, this is a great compliment if you really want to maintain a lean body, because this equipment, you lay down there, you take your phone, your magazine, and it does the work for you, especially now that we're so limited, going to a gym, going to social gatherings around people. That is the perfect equipment to get the office moving and continue to be moving after COVID.
Okay, so you and I have known each other for several years. You like you said, you got several pieces of our equipment. How's the reliability been for our system? And when you have a problem, how does Rohrer Aesthetics react?
Well, and that's one thing that I always tell people, colleagues, and ask me for a reference on a laser. I always give them your company name, because I have my first laser was a CO2. I still use that laser very often. I do vaginal rejuvenation and I do it several times a week. And that laser never, ever gave me a problem. I have the Spectrum. I guess you can see behind me some of the hand pieces hanging. I have the Pixelate. I have almost your entire portfolio. Never, ever I had an issue with the machine. And when I ask, I call, I remember, I think the vaginal, I use it a lot. The little bit of, there was a little scratch on the mirror and was from actually use. And I was on the warranty. I call, and I believe the next day I have a replacement piece in the office. That is something that for me is very valuable. I cannot stop. I have a big patient population, and I cannot say, oh, I'm sorry, I cannot do a treatment because the machine broke down. I know that every time I have even if it was a small issue like that, you guys deliver. And to me and to everybody that is in this business, that is a priority. We need to have reliability and support, and that you guys do excellent.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Have you realized your return on investment on the systems?
Oh, please. Every time I think about that. The other day I talked to a colleague. She bought a very expensive laser because the brand, to be honest. She's a dermatologist and I love her dearly. But I said, when are you going to recover? How much are you going to price this treatment to recover that amount of money? That is something that I always have in mind when I'm investing, not only on a laser, on any equipment, because number one, if you charge patients an astronomical amount to recover your investment, your machine is going to get obsolete and you're not going to recover your investment. The good thing about paying $60,000 for a machine like the BodyTone or the Bodysculp is that money is recovered within months. I personally have, and I recently started doing body. Like I said at the beginning, I'm a body, I'm a neck, face type of guy. And in less than a year, I recovered my investment fully within months, because it's an affordable device and you can transfer that saving into the patient on the pricing of the treatment. And you're going to get the patients coming back and referring friends, and you will recover immediately. I have recovered investment on every single laser I purchased from you in the last 3 years within months, to be honest. And my prices are very competitive. That's something that I always keep in mind, because the patient population that I take care of is a Hispanic immigrant. They don't have a lot of money to spend, but they want to look good. My prices are very competitive and I have recovered my investment always.
Okay, so would you recommend Rohrer Aesthetics?
Oh,
Would you-
please, Mark. Oh, Mark, you're joking. Of course I do. I mean, you know, and that's why when you invite me to do this, I'm honored and humble. I'm a man that I believe. If I don't believe in what I say, I would not open my mouth. And I do believe in your products. I use them every day. I mean, and I know this is about Bodysculp and BodyTone, but the spectrum is a multi system platform that I use every single day. So an equipment that is not reliable, if you use it every single day, within months, you're gonna have an issue. I have the spectrum for the last years, never have an issue. So I do believe 100% on your products, and I recommend your products 100%, not only through this way of communication that you're gonna post this video. I recommend these products to my colleagues, to, I mean, people that are interested in purchasing. Sometimes they call me and they ask me, and I never hesitate to say, go for Rohrer because they're affordable and reliable. And that is exactly how I feel about it.
Well, I appreciate your kind words, and it's 5:30. It's after 5:30. I know you've had a long day. I'm going to ask you one more question, and I'm going to let you go. What did I pay you for this interview?
That's a very nothing. You know, but as a matter of fact, you paid me with being there for me. Every time I send you a message, you always answer my questions. You provide me with equipment that is affordable and allow me to do what I do to make people's life, you know, a different people's life, and to have a thriving office. That's the way you pay me, not with money, with presence and a source of equipment that I know is going to keep my practice alive and moving forward. So that's if you can call that payment, but there's no money involved. There's no monetary transaction involved in this interview. You truly deserve every word that I said here because you've been there for me for the last few years. And I know this relationship is going to continue for the future. That I have no doubt.
Well, thank you, Dr. Campos. And you know what? My name's on these products. I would lose money to keep my customers happy. Not that we have to do that, but I want you to love the products. I want you to love the company after the sale even more. And that's what we strive to do. And I sure appreciate your kind words and your business and support. Most of all, I appreciate your friendship. And yeah, thank you for being there for Rohrer.
It's a pleasure, and you know that. So looking forward to the next machine. What you're going to come up with.
Stay tuned. We'll have some soon. All right, Dr.
Right.
Campos, thank you for
Take
your
care,
time.
Mark.
Enjoy your evening. Talk to you soon.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.